But, you know, if that becomes the hangup, then we end up without a bill again. Abraham, do you know who's next? Oh, you had a couple of hands go.
We have the lady in blue, and then we'll have.
Okay, and then I think we have another one in here. Okay, in the back.
I just got a question. Legislature and Senate has changed since last year.
Yeah.
So why do you think that a bill previous would not pass this time?
Well, the House hasn't changed control, the Senate's changed control. And in all honesty, there was a little bit of distrust between the House and the Senate last year, and we have a little more trust today. Plus, my rulemaking authority, there was a belief that that the Senate was trying to open up the issue to allow undocumented to get driver's licenses, and the House said absolutely not. And that was the loggerhead. No one was willing to stay with the status quo. I'm willing to stay with the status quo. I'm willing to keep current law after Real ID exactly the same as it is prior to Real ID. Last year, both sides wanted to change, and neither one was willing to move. Yes.
I think also the status quo, and I'm gonna say that part of the public.
Yeah.
The status quo has changed too, because you have, for example, all this series of executive orders that put good folks, mom and dad, working, 2 or 3 jobs during 1 week, trying to bring, resources to their kids' stables, and they're being equated as human traffickers, as people that deal drugs, as people that have committed serious felonies under this new administration rules of removal. So now we have this, the status quo means something really different in this reality. And when we have a population of people that cannot identify themselves while on the road or while by being in the community, just existing in the community, we are actually creating this pipeline of fast removals of people that have never committed crimes in the past. So it's not just about driving, it's about just proving identity to not be removed or be deported in a streamline.
Well, here's what I'll say, is that the driver's license rules are meant to have authentication that you are who you say you are. Mm-hmm. And simply by changing the rules without changing the statute, Minnesota would become a haven for fraud and identity theft, right? So that's why we worked on it so hard, and we made a number of statutory changes in 2013 when this bill passed the Senate. Because it's more than just a rule, okay? There needs to be statute language changed around it. Now, what I would say is that I can't speak to what's happening on the federal level. I can't speak to President Trump's executive orders. What I can say is that the rules for getting a driver's license today, a non-compliant driver's license today, won't change if we implement the Real ID. None of the statutes around obtaining a non-compliant license will change. None of the rules around a non-compliant license will change. And then we can take that on as a separate issue. But I can't speak to what's going on at the federal level. I don't have any authority to make or change that.
What's the basis?
I got her first. I'm sorry, sir.
So just so I understand, so there's going to be 2 driver's licenses, right? Okay, the federal one and then the regular one.
Yep.
Okay. So now, current days, we have parents that are taking their kids to school, doctor's appointments, sports events, and we know that they're out there and they don't have a driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't this be the moment where we can maybe implement and maybe request, maybe not at the federal level, but if we're going to be you saying that we're not going to be making changes, we don't know when the next time it is going to be until this is updated or changed. Why not take the moment now and maybe just implement that they can obtain a driver's license?
Because it won't pass.
Well, like they said, it's the different people now that are in the House, right, that will be passing or voting. It's the same. But, why not try?
Because, again, the agreement that I came to with the advocates for that exact rule just asked me to maintain the current status. That's all they want. Just don't put this in the statute. Let's maintain the current status. Because if we put this in the statute, it's going to be even harder to make that change later on.
Yeah, but then don't you think it would be harder later on also to be able to maybe provide, I mean, I understand the legal status and I understand it's gotta go by the rules. I completely understand that. What I'm trying to say here is they're out there, they're driving, they're taking their kids to school. I mean, if a parent gets pulled over for taking his kids to school, a parent, and he or she gets arrested, what happens to those children? So in order for us, you know what, they got pulled over because they have a broken tail light. Okay, just fix it, make sure, I'm saying they have to follow the rules. We'll make, they have to take all the tests, they've gotta have an insurance. They've gotta apply all the rules that we have to follow, that it's a law.
Mm-hmm.
Why not make them also follow those laws? They have to abide by them, they have to pay, they've gotta do everything, but grant them a driver's license. And I felt we know that, yes, they're driving on the street, but you know what? They took that test because they're driving, we don't know if they took the test, we don't know when they started driving. But like this, we know that, you know what, they did took the test, they're paying their insurance in case, they get into a car accident or they hit us, we know that they're paying, so they're reporting to the state also. Wouldn't this be the moment for us to maybe implement or maybe add on there that they can also obtain a driver's license?
No,
Why not?
Because issuing driver's licenses to undocumented immigrants is much more complicated than just opening up the rulemaking. There's a lot of statutory changes that go with it, and it brings a whole lot more controversy to this law. I'm just trying to get something in place so that we can get an extension and we can continue to use our IDs for federal purposes if someone chooses that. And rather than trying to bring in the undocumented driving privileges into this bill, we can bring another bill that will do exactly that, and it's already passed the Senate, right? This is just about implementing a real ID. It's very narrow, and if I don't send up a bill that is perfectly clean on implementing a real ID, I fear we're not going to get anything passed this session.
Can you give me just really quick to fill in the people that
Yeah.
don't speak English? Correct me if I mispronounce anything. So lo que está diciendo es que nosotros le estamos pidiendo a él como senador en su nueva propuesta que le agregue el lenguaje que dé las licencias a los indocumentados, y entonces nosotros apoyamos, y el Partido Demócrata apoyaría a que pase como el Real ID, porque todos necesitamos licencia. Él dice que no porque hace 2 años hizo un arreglo con Mesa Latina y a Isaiah de mantenerlos separados, o sea, no mencionar el lenguaje. Entonces, ese acuerdo que él hizo hace 2 años lo está honrando ahorita. Lo que está diciendo Emilia es que ya cambió la situación de hace 2 años ahorita con el nuevo presidente que tenemos. Y él dice que no quiere porque si él le agrega ese lenguaje a su propuesta, no va a pasar el Senado. Y quiere que pase para que tengamos algo por seguridad nacional. Entonces nosotros le estamos diciendo que mate 2 pájaros de un tiro y le agregue la licencia por seguridad, porque de todas maneras estamos manejando y necesitamos una licencia. Dice que él insiste en que van a hacer 2 cosas y que a lo mejor a futuro puede hacer otra propuesta que hable sobre las licencias, pero que ahorita se rehúsa a agregarle eso a su propuesta.
Okay, I had this gentleman, and that gentleman.
No, I'll pass for a second.
Okay.
I just spoke to them.
Okay, well, let me go here, here, and there.
I will say in Spanish to her first.
I'll translate.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ya trataron sobre, ya ves que hay la posibilidad de que posiblemente cancelen DACA para los estudiantes.
Because you haven't addressed DACA for students, right? Canceling DACA for students. DACA for students. Yeah, the Dreamers?
No,
You haven't touched that, right?
I haven't touched that.
Okay. Mi pregunta es, yo sé que los estados pueden decidir sobre
As I know that the states can decide
si le van a otorgar o van a seguir renovando las licencias de manejo para ellos.
if those particular students will continue to renew their driver's license.
Porque si el presidente no renova el DACA para los estudiantes,
Because if
pierden
our
su licencia.
president doesn't renew the DACA for students, then you will not be able to obtain your license.
Pero Minnesota podría, este estado podría hacer una excepción.
But if you get through your bill here in Minnesota, that could be an exception.
So I'm gonna ask myself.
So the idea here is students can get their driver's license under DACA if they can't provide
And I will also
those
ask you,
things.
They already have their driver license, right?
Okay,
But the thing is that if the president doesn't renew DACA, they will lose their driver license and work permit. So the question is if Minnesota will willing to do an ordinance or renew their driver license
Under the same bill.
under the same bill or another bill or.
again, this is not a bill about who can access or not access a driver's license. This is simply a bill that provides for the implementation of Real ID. And what you're asking for would then change how we're authorizing the current license, and that's outside the scope of what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, and also I want to comment on that, like the senator, that this is a clean bill, and he wants to comply with the federal, and it's a benefit for everyone, and it doesn't change anything. That's what we wanted to know. But if we have any other issues, then we can talk to him. We can get another day, like this town hall meeting, we can do, and then we can talk about, other challenges that the Latino or Somali community have. But today we are just talking about Real ID.
So, to your issue, if we didn't pass Real ID, whatever would happen to those students today would potentially happen after the bill. So, you had a question?
It's just, I'm going back to like what we were saying about the driver's license. So like, in your opinion, like what would happen to those that, for example, one relative is very sick and needs of like, to go to the hospital?
Mhm.
We would have to like call the ambulance and wait for them to come and pick them up. And in those hard situations like that, where we ourselves could drive to that place, but we were risking that that security of others and ourselves and to our relatives. Like, what would be your opinion on that? How would that?
Well, I'm purposefully not expressing any opinion on the driver's license for all. I've taken votes on that. I've taken a for vote. I've taken an against vote on that issue. And I can't, if my political intentions get wrapped up in this bill, it's gonna get tied up. So I'm purposely staying away from that to say it's not part of this bill. What you're doing today is what you would do after this bill gets passed. Now, again, there's a group of senators and representatives that are working on a driver's license for all bill, and that can go through separately. But as far as implementing the Real ID, we're just gonna keep the current process in place.
So, la pregunta fue cuando hay una emergencia y nosotros no tenemos licencia para manejar emergencias, le tenemos que hablar a la ambulancia porque no puedes arriesgarte a manejar. Y dijo que él intencionalmente se ha mantenido sin opinión en las licencias porque eso no es este bill. Esta propuesta es específicamente para el Real ID.
I'm sorry, you did.
I had a question, yeah.
Well, I got the gentleman here, but I'm a little concerned about the videotape. Where's the videotape gonna be shared?
Probably Facebook,
Is it Facebook?
It's just, I'm not a politician.
Whatever. You had a question, sir.
I have two questions, actually. Getting back to the legislative process.
And does everybody okay being taped?
Yes.